what are those? What's that packing
Right.
cube set? What's that
Yeah.
toiletry bag? I mean, it's my business, but I'm
Yeah.
not here being like, hey, here's this brand, buy it. When you tell someone to do something, they're not going to do it. They have to decide themselves
Sure.
to purchase it.
Yo, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Unstoppable Marketer Podcast. With me, as always, is Mark Goldhart, my lovely co-host. How are you?
Great. Wonderful.
Good.
Doing well.
We're back to like a schizophrenic spring in Utah. Like 70 degrees earlier this week and blizzard this morning.
Yeah, third or second winter.
Yes. One of the two.
Yeah.
So
It's like
a
when
little,
hobbits call it like second breakfast, we have second winter.
Yeah, that's right. Well, I'm excited for our podcast today. We missed last week. We were in Austin.
Oh, yeah, we did.
Yeah.
Oh, it was lovely in Austin, though.
Yeah, it was.
Austin's such a cool city.
It was good food and good weather.
Oh, the best food.
It was really good.
So much
Barbecue.
Yeah, it's just such a better food scene than we have here.
Yeah, it was much more fun in ways.
And like,
Anyways,
well,
in Utah.
yeah.
Yeah. But
no offense, Utah.
I
But
love
maybe I
Utah.
just don't get out enough here. So
Probably. Well, we got an awesome guest today.
yeah, I'm excited.
She's just been sitting here patiently. What do you think
I'm
of
like,
Austin?
I've never been to Austin. I'm like, can you take me?
Yeah, we're gonna
Austin's
take
When
you
are we
straight.
going?
We'll take you.
Is
and
it
you can-
to Texas, right?
Austin,
Yeah.
Texas.
I've heard the food's amazing.
The capital, we learned. I thought it was Dallas.
Yeah.
I always thought the capital of Texas was Dallas, personally.
I
I
probably would
never,
have known it
I
in
never
like
thought
fifth
that
grade.
because I took geography. So
Mark is intelligent, more intelligent.
No wonder he knows. We don't know, but he knows.
Well, the random voice
I'm
you
just
are
kidding.
hearing, let me introduce, is Kimberly O'Connell. I realized we just like started talking. Kimberly O'Connell, the founder and CEO of Brixley Bag, aka the Tortoise Queen, aka the Ranch Hand.
All of, I mean,
Everything else?
everything.
Yeah.
Add it on. Just keep going. It makes me sound better. You just keep going with it.
Good morning and welcome.
Thank you for having me on here. I'm excited to be here.
Good. And we have your husband here with us too.
Yes,
unfortunately.
Ethan's in the background
We should have
here.
mic'd him up.
We
We
should
should have
have.
put a mic in there. I bet he'd give us some good
He
commentary.
would. He's funny. He's
Or he
way
could be a
funnier than
fact
me.
checker. He could be our fact checker.
That's
That
true.
would have been a good idea.
you could fact check.
True.
It's always good to have a
miss.
spouse fact checking spouse.
That's true. That
Right.
is true.
That's a miss. Well, good morning. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you.
So, okay. So a little background here. So I found you
On the street.
on the street. Yeah. I just saw you and said, hey, you look interesting. Do you want to come on our podcast? No, I found you through TikTok,
Yeah.
which is probably how a lot of people have discovered you. You've kind of blown up. At least that's what it looks like to me. It looks like to me that there was this like almost overnight success. So just
Yeah.
for everybody who knows, like Kimberly just does like day in the life content, but is very amusing with your commentary throughout
Yeah.
it, right?
Yeah.
And you
Yeah.
intertwine business and family and farm life and tortoises, et cetera, et cetera. How long have you been doing that for?
So it'll be a year in May. So
Okay,
I just,
so yes, you did blow up.
So I
then.
did. So I just hit 1 million
Yeah.
followers
Congrats.
on like last Saturday, and it's been less than a year. And so really, it has been like kind of an overnight sensation in a way, in a TikTok way, because I mean, it takes people sometimes a long time to get followers that way,
Mhm.
but I feel like like you said, I think it's just been an overnight thing, and it's so awesome. It's so cool.
So, okay, did you just
What are we
start
dealing with? Like tortoises or turtles?
Tortoises.
tortoises?
Yeah.
Oh,
So turtles
tortoises.
swim.
Turtles swim.
Yeah, turtles swim. So if I put my tortoise in the water, they'd sink and die.
Right.
So tortoises. So we have 6 sulcata tortoises. They'll get like over 150 pounds. They'll live like over 100 years.
Yeah.
Like they're
That's crazy.
they're cool.
100 years.
yeah, they're
That's
cool.
amazing.
Yeah.
Okay, so you started TikToking.
Those are not native here, though.
They're
Right.
not. No. So it's like usually like so it's a desert tortoise, or like
Right.
a desert spur tortoise is kind of what they say, because they have like little spurs on their back. And so they're more native to Arizona, stuff like that. They like thrive in Arizona.
And that's where you're from.
That's where I'm from. And so my
Okay.
parents still have 2.
Okay.
And so I grew up with 2, and then
Are these the second generation of those two?
no, they're completely different. They kind of came all into like, because we have 6, they didn't all come 6 at a time. We kind of like spread it out, kind of thing. They all
Really?
kind of randomly came into our lives. Truly.
Amazing.
Weird.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Wait, let's talk about tortoises for a second. No one cares
Yeah.
about
Please.
marketing.
Yes.
Yeah. Please.
So you don't breed them.
So we don't breed them. I mean, yet. They'll probably breed themselves.
Do you have males and females?
So with tortoises, it takes you a long time. Unless you go to the vet, like a specialty vet, they can tell you their gender.
Okay.
But I don't have time or energy to do that, and I don't really
So you'll
care
just
right now.
find out when you
So
find
we'll
out.
find out when we find out. It usually takes between, I've heard, I mean, I'm not a tortoise expert, between like 10 to 15 years to find out. So we know one of ours is a male. For sure, 100% a male.
How did you discover that?
Have you raised them all from
No.
hatchlings, or
No.
you've just picked them up as adults?
So we have
Do you know the age of all of your tortoises?
no. So
you count the number of what was
yeah,
the
it's
old
like a
wives'
tree.
tale?
You know, it's like a tree.
Like the
you know, you
rings
count
around the tree.
So
Yeah.
okay, so we started with 2. So not my parents' 2. We started with 2. Anyway, so I literally dragged him because he hates reptiles. Even though tortoises are reptiles, he hated reptiles. So I dragged him to a reptile expo, and I was like, please, I love reptiles. So I'm like, let's just go see the snakes. And
I love reptiles too.
yeah, they're cool.
I grew up with reptiles.
Same,
I did as well.
exactly.
Lizards.
So he just hated
Lizards,
reptiles,
snakes.
and I was like, please.
We had some tortoises,
Did you?
some small ones,
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
and
Well,
they
there you go.
all escaped.
Oh, well, there you go.
Those
They're
little
just
guys.
probably
A
in
neighbor-
my.
a neighbor
they're probably,
found
They're
one,
probably in my backyard
Like
right now.
5 years later.
Oh,
That's cool.
you found
They're
them 5
hardy.
years later?
A neighbor found one 5 years
I'm
later.
telling you, they're hard. No, they actually are. They are actually are hardy. So we went to this reptile expo, and Ethan saw the tortoises. There was 2, and they're probably that big at the
Yeah, yeah.
time. He saw them, and he's like, "Are these the ones your parents have?" I'm like, "Yeah, those are them." He's like, "What if we got 2?" And I'm like, "Sure. I love reptiles. I grew up with them.
Yeah.
Not a big deal to me." So we bring home the 2, and we live with them for a few years. We take care of them, and then a couple years later, about a year later, his dad loved our tortoises so much. He's like, "I'm gonna buy my dad 2 for Christmas." So then he goes and buys his dad 2 for Christmas. About a year later after that, his dad goes to Japan for work and is like, "Will you babysit my tortoises?" So Ethan's like, "Yeah." So bring them over. So now we have 4. And then his dad gets home from Japan, is like, but then doesn't really ever come get them. So we kind of legally adopted them. We legally adopted them. So then we have 4, right? So then my friend calls me from Arizona and is like, "I found this tortoise on the side of the road. I know you already have 4. I have one on the side of the road. He's big. I need him. He needs to go somewhere because I don't know where."
How big was he?
He was about that
Okay.
big. And I guess relative big. I mean,
Shell.
'cause, yeah,
The
his
shell.
shell, yeah, because they can get that big, but was big for what we had. And so we got him. So then we got 5.
Yeah.
Then our last one, some girl had seen my TikToks. I just started on TikTok. Just started posting my TikToks, and some girl reached out to me and was like, "We have a little tortoise, and he lives in a box right now. We're in Minnesota. We're in Minnesota, and it's cold here, and we don't let him out, and he just stays in his box inside all day, and so I just feel bad. Can you please take him? Like, he would live such a better life with you." So I was like, "Sure, you're in Minnesota. I don't know how we're gonna plan that. You can't just ship him in a box."
Right.
And so I kind of went back and forth with her. She's like, "Well, what if we drove there?" I was like, "Okay, yeah, drive from Minnesota. Like, yeah, you're not gonna do that kind of thing." And she's like, "Well, what if we came this weekend?" So really, truly, I'm thinking that's not gonna happen. Like, okay. So then all of a sudden she texts me that weekend and she was like, "We're in Utah with Steven." His name was Steven. "We're in Utah with Steven the tortoise."
Tortoise
Oh
name
my
was
God.
Steve.
Tortoise name was Steven. We're here with Steven.
Steve.
And so we drove to Draper and met her in the Shields parking lot, and out comes
What?
this little baby tortoise. He was probably that big. And he, I think, is the oldest of the bunch. And so, but he's the smallest because he didn't get out. He didn't get the sunlight. He didn't get the area he
So
needed.
he just didn't grow.
So he didn't grow.
Yeah.
So that's Widow Baby Steven, and he is like our prized possession. Like, that is the one that everyone, I mean, I came out with a coloring book of him. Like, I came out with shirts. Like, he is a sensation. So that's how we
Wild.
got our 6. So they're all
I
kind
am
of
Steven.
randomly.
So he's
I
got
think
a
it's crazy.
personality.
I
huh?
just
He's
think
got a,
it's
yeah, Widow Baby Steven.
Widow baby.
Widow
Steven.
Baby Steven, yeah. So it's not just Steven anymore. It's now Widow
You-
Baby Steven.
Nice.
Yeah.
I can't even believe somebody drove from Minnesota to do that.
It was over, she said, 20 hours.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So they just drove, and then they dropped him off, and they drove back.
How big were you at that time?
Oh, maybe 100,000 followers at that
Okay.
time.
Okay. I
So-
mean, that's pretty big.
Yeah, sorry, I shouldn't
yeah.
say. I'm like, "Oh, no, nothing."
I'm sitting here with 50,000 followers, and she's like,
I'm like, "Oh, not that much."
not that much. Like, oh yeah. Yeah.
So people just love
totally.
the turtle content or the tortoise content.
So that's how I kind of blew up on TikTok, was my tortoise content. Actually, before that, I don't know if you care enough, but before that, for a couple of years, I did Brixley on TikTok. I don't know if you ever knew about that. So I did Brixley on TikTok, blew up on that
Okay.
on TikTok through Brixley. And then after about a year of doing that, I stopped because I kind of got what I needed from that.
Okay.
And so then we just started running ads. And then after a couple of years, I was like, I already have followers here. I think I had 40,000 from from Brixley kind of thing. But they
Got
were
it.
all there for Brixley. And so I was
Sure.
like, well, what if I see everyone else do it. What if I just showed my life and stuff
Yeah.
like that? And so then I started posting, and no one wanted to see my life. And so then I was like, okay. So I randomly filmed Ethan putting his tortoises away. That's what we did every single day. So I just
Sure.
randomly did that, and it just went crazy.
Yeah.
Went crazy.
It's
amazing.
It's
Yeah.
funny how the it's funny because your content probably didn't change much.
Yeah.
Except for you started adding just something that is just different.
Exactly.
Right? Nobody's talking about tortoises or
Yeah.
things like that.
Yeah.
Because your content, I didn't go back and look at
Yeah.
what it was from a year ago or
Totally.
whatever. But I imagine it was roughly similar, but you just kind of intertwined
Exactly.
the weirder things of your life or the more
was.
obscure things.
Very much so, because we did 2 videos a day. I was putting our tortoises out and taking them back inside.
Mm-hmm.
And that was it. And then I knew, because it did really well. And so I was like, okay, well, it's about to become winter. I think this was like September around. Like, it's going to become winter, so I can't let them out. So, like, I either stop doing all this and wait till next year, or I do something about it.
Sure.
So I was like, okay, well, what if I start showing my life? I'm like, I feel like my life is pretty interesting. Obviously, I have tortoises that caught people's attention, but also I own a business. I mean, that's kind of interesting. I'm a mom.
Yeah.
We're building a house. So I'm like, what if I just showed my life? And so then I started showing my life and my business.
Yeah.
And that's it. Then it kind of grew. That's kind of how my name kind of grew.
Awesome.
So
very cool.
that's kind of how it started.
And that was about a year ago.
That was about, September-ish. I started showing my life.
Cool.
And so then I started showing my business. And
September of last year?
Of
or
2024.
2024, yeah. So last year.
So that was like, what,
Not even a year.
7 months ago?
Yeah.
And what have you seen on the business side
Oh, yeah.
since growing your non-business related?
Right, exactly. So the cool thing about that is I always tell people it's really interesting because even though they're completely separate things, Brixley and me and my TikTok, they go together so well.
Yeah.
Because I'm not trying to sell this product to you. I'm not, and that's the thing. I didn't even mean to really sell it to you. So I'm not sitting there in front of the camera and be like, buy my bag, buy my bag, buy my bags. Nothing like that. It is come do a daily life with me. Come see how I do things. And I think that intrigues people enough to be like, I like her. I like what she's doing. I appreciate her hard work.
Yeah.
It's also a cool bag. I really do enjoy what she's doing. I want to support her.
Yeah.
And then they start supporting me and then they get the bag and then they like it. And so then they just keep going. So, so it really has, it's a really cool thing. It's grown my business a ton, but unfortunately I feel like I can't really tell the growth between the two.
Yeah.
I just know it's working because people comment, I just bought a bag I mean, stuff like that. So I wish there was a way I could be like, I mean, I could do like a TikTok 10 code or something like that, but
the thing is like, I think so many people want to figure out the exacts.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, like, you can probably just look at what's happened to your business from September on.
Exactly.
Compared to that. And you're like, okay, what big changes have we made?
Totally.
Maybe you upped your ad spend $100,000 a month or whatever that number is. And, you know, but like, you can start to really correlate it to be like, okay, cool. When I'm reaching 5 million people a month, or I don't know what that number is for you, you know, like, all of that can kind of start to spill over, or a lot of that can spill over to what's happening on Brixley. And then what ends up happening, what people don't realize is now my ad team can start to retarget off of all those people that it's bringing.
Exactly. And that's what happened when I first started TikTok 2021 or I can't remember what year it was. Either 2021 or 2022 is when I just first got TikTok, and I made like 2 stupid videos with my family. And then I was like, I'm just going to come home from church. I was coming home from church and I'm like, I'm just going to show my bag on TikTok. So I come home from church and I open my bag and I'm like, here's this, this, and this, and this, all the ways. And it went viral. And so then throughout the entire year, I did sell my bag. I'm like, buy my bag, basically. Here's what it does, all the things. And exactly like what you just said, my team was able to retarget every single one of those people, the people who went to my site, the people who did, you know, all those things. And so that's why I stopped doing TikTok about after a year, because I had the things I needed. I had the information I needed. I know that sounds bad. I'm like, I'm taking your information, but it's true. I really did have the demographics I needed. And so I didn't need to do TikTok anymore. It was, I was able to sell it through Facebook, Instagram ads, all those things. And then, you know, a year later, that's when I did my personal. And it's cool because I never even thought when I started my personal that I'm going to do my, you know, it's going to correlate with my business. But here I am now. I launched a tortoise bag and it sold out within, I mean, less than 2 hours.
That's awesome.
So it's really cool to see how those two correlate, but then also don't correlate at all.
Yeah. So cool.
Yeah.
So when you started TikTok,
do you have a tortoise section on your website?
I don't. So I started.
Tortoise collection.
I should, but I started another LLC called EK Farms, and I started business. I mean, I started a website with that, and we sold tortoise shirts, stickers.
So it was like a merch site.
It was a merch site,
Yeah.
and I sold out of everything.
Nice.
But I didn't sell my bag on that merch site. I sold it on my personal on
Sure.
Brixley site.
Yeah.
And so I really didn't want to correlate the two together that much. I was fine selling the tortoise bag, and that's why I bought it. I really didn't buy that many of them. I mean, I don't know what relative. I bought 500 of them.
Sure.
Bags of the tortoise print bags, and I was like, oh, man, I should have bought less. I mean, if they go on my site, why is there a tortoise bag? Like, that is the most random thing in the entire world. Here I have all these prints, and then they're tortoise, and I should have bought in thousands because I mean, every single day I still have people being like, where's the tortoise bag? I want the tortoise bag.
Yeah.
So
that's a really cool. I like that. I mean, I think what a lot of people. Well, I think what a lot of brands struggle with, because we talk about this all the time, that brands have such a hard time creating content nowadays because all they are trying to do is sell.
True.
And that's really what ads are more so meant for.
Mm-hmm.
And so when you start to create organic content that's so salesy, it oftentimes doesn't get the traction you hope. Now, I think, when did you start doing Brixley on TikTok?
That was like 2021, 2022.
That was like, 2020 to like 2022 was the heyday of being able to do that.
It's true. I feel like that was okay then.
Yes, totally.
But now it's now has to be organic.
Yeah.
And I, like, for example, I just went to Arizona and I did a video of me packing for Arizona. And I didn't even think in my mind, let me run this as an ad for Brixley. Didn't even cross my mind, but I used obviously all my products because that's what my brand is, a travel brand.
Sure.
So I used my packing cubes, I used my toiletry bags, I used my tote, my backpack, all the things, and I posted the video. And then my marketing team took that video, ran it as an ad, and it did amazing. Yep. Because I truly did, like, honest to heavens, I did not think I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna put it as an ad. I'm gonna sell people on it.
Sure.
Never. I just did my thing. I just did my life. I just did my video that I was gonna post on TikTok. They then thought, that's brilliant. I mean, you have all your products showing right here how to do it.
Yeah.
Let's post it as an ad.
Yeah.
So they posted it as an ad and it did great. Even on TikTok, it did great. And I got a bunch of sales because people are like, what are those? What's that packing cube set? What's that toiletry bag? I'm like, oh, I mean, it's my business, but I'm not here being like, hey, here's this brand, buy it. Because when people, that's the thing is, like, I feel like people are like, when you tell someone to do something, they're not going to do it.
Right.
They have to decide themselves to purchase it.
Sure.
So.
Yeah, I love that. What's some advice you'd have for brands that know they need to create organic content, but haven't been able to figure it out?
I think find someone who can for you. I know a lot of people who are just they think they're bad in front of the camera. Maybe they are bad in front of the camera. Luckily, I don't have that. I mean, I have the personality for it. So I think it works great for my brand. Yeah. But I know a lot of people who are, maybe older, who aren't great in front of the camera, who don't have that sense of personality. Sure. And so I think hire someone who can. Yeah. Truly hire a Gen Z. Yeah. Hire some cute little girl. Hire some person who's good in front of the camera. Yeah. And do that. Like, that's what you need to do, because it's obviously working for me. It's working for other brands. Yeah. It's working for a lot of people. And so that's what I would say is find someone who can. If you can't, totally fine.
Sure.
You do what you can.
Yeah.
But then find someone who can do that in front of the camera.
Do you think it's important that there's one single person who's going to own it?
I would. Yeah. I think I do, because I've thought about a lot of times. I'm like, not that I'm tired of it, but I'm like, sometimes it's a lot to post videos and do that and do all these things to create ads for it. And I'm like, oh, it'd be nice to have someone else do it. But to be honest with you, people purchase because of me. I think they like me. I mean, I don't know. This is just what I think. But I think it's people who come for me and want to see my life and what I do, and they want to support me and my family.
Sure.
And so I think that's why I do it.
Yeah.
Not that I don't love it, but I mean, it's a lot. And so.
Well, it's especially like day in the life content.
Yeah.
Because I'll do that stuff a lot too. And it's like, it's so exhausting to be like, I'm walking into my house.
Yes.
I got to hurry and run in and set up a camera.
Yes.
And then like walk out and then come back in and pretend like I didn't do it.
Yes.
And it's like, it's exhausting, where I'm out with my family right now.
Yeah.
And this is the type of stuff people really want to see. So I'm going to do it.
Exactly.
So it's way exhausting.
It's exhausting, and people are like, well, being an influencer isn't hard. I mean, being an influencer is not hard. There's other way harder jobs. Like, I'm so blessed and grateful, but it is hard. I mean, it's hard when you get into, like you're saying, your family. I'm like, I own a business. I do all these things. I'm a mom, but I'm also trying to juggle filming, setting up my camera, doing all these things. And so, but then I also need to be a wife, and I need to do laundry, and I need to do dishes. And so there's just a lot of things that go into it. But I mean, I love it. I've made now I feel like a career out of influencing, outside of Brixley.
Sure.
Now I'm just talking about TikTok wise. I've now made a career where I do make money off TikTok and off ads and off, brand deals and stuff like that.
Sure.
So, now it's money. And so it's another job.
Yeah.
And so, but the nice thing about Brixley was that I could go to work and then shut off the lights, and I left work at work.
Right.
Now I bring this into my home,
Totally.
and now you can't shut it off.
Yeah.
So it's just different. It's just different.
Yeah.
I have a question about trends.
Yes.
I was hoping you were going to have a question about turtles. Tortoises. Goes back.
I wouldn't be surprised.
I actually have a question about that tortoise you found in Arizona.
In Arizona? Well, you do have male dominance behaviors in tortoises, so
Yeah,
gotta watch out for that.
you do.
But
Sure.
no, my question is
Trends.
you're
Sorry.
trends. So your business isn't necessarily categorized as fashion,
No.
but it's fashion parallel,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Fair to say. So with AI,
Mm-hmm.
people are going to be able to create imagery, and it's usually just kind of copycatting everything.
Yeah.
But there's these the trend now is, I think, where a lot of brands are struggling is we're kind of at this like inflection point with
Mhm.
trends where the millennial style is starting to fade.
Totally.
Even with housing and interior design, like I'm sure you're seeing like the cozy interior design
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
is now back in.
Like
Yes.
warmer and yeah.
Like
Yeah.
people don't want the quote minimal,
Yeah.
super clean, kind of more.
I know exactly what you're
I'm saying
talking about.
stale,
Yeah.
but that's negative.
Sure. Yeah.
It's just
Yeah.
So they're going with like more blues and greens
Mhm.
and
More
like
colors.
sofas
Yeah.
and patterns.
Yep.
So are you noticing this, and how do you incorporate this? And also after that, I'll have another question, which is like, where do you see it going for brands, and how are you trying to capture it? But are you noticing it, and what do you think of it?
I think my business model is a lot different than a lot of people. I feel like there's a lot bigger businesses who have, 1,000 people on their roster, and this person does this person does this person does this. I have this marketing team. I have a PR team. I have all these teams. It's literally just me. It's me
Yeah.
and a photography team and a marketing team, and that's it. And so truly, I don't
And by
have
teams, like I think those are probably outsourced, right?
Yeah,
They're
those are
agencies.
outsourced, exactly.
Agencies,
So
consultants,
agencies,
yeah.
exactly. So I think a lot of people have it all in, in-house where
Sure.
I don't. So to be honest with you, I bet there's a lot of people or companies who have people to research that and do all that. Where my brand is so different for the fact that I wake up and I'm like, what do I want to do today?
Yeah.
What should I post today? I don't have even an inkling of what I'm going to do tomorrow. It's truly based off how I feel, what I want to do, and what I'm seeing as the trends go day to day. So I wish I had a better answer for you to be like, here's my, 6-month roster of this is what I'm gonna do this month, this is what I'm gonna do this one. This is kind of what I'm seeing. But I truly live by the freaking seat of my pants. Like that's truly what I do. I don't know if that's a horrible answer, but that's kind of my answer. Is I just
No,
go,
I think there's a common thread there
Yeah.
because when you're thinking of maybe, let's just take the interior design style that's
Yeah.
taking off, which is more cozy. It's
Yeah.
just more unique,
yeah,
right? Like there's more trinkets, there's more like things on the walls, like it's more
Totally.
unique to you. And I think that's Gen Z in general,
yeah,
right? Like Gen Z wants to be unique,
yeah,
where millennials all want to be the same.
yes,
And so your style and what you're doing is more of just like the Gen Z
I think so.
methodology, right? Where it's
Exactly.
like, I don't really care to like be kind of in this melting pot of culture and whatever. It's like, I'm just going to wake up and do what I want,
Yeah,
which is why like tortoises have taken off
yeah,
because that's a weird,
yeah. No one would just wake up.
strange
Yeah,
thing
yeah, totally.
that people are like, oh, that's unique. That's cool. Like
Mhm.
I want to watch that. That's a differentiator between you and like the regular
I agree.
mom day in the
Yeah.
life of.
Yeah, I agree. And I think, even just trend wise, with my bags or bag colors, I kind of do it based off what I like, what I think is trendy. And I think the people who I've created as my, my customers, my fellow Brixley girlies, they like what I like. And so I kind of just do it based off patterns I like. I do ask them though. I do have, there's times I'll get samples where I'll be like, hey, do you guys like A, B, and C, D? Because I'm like, I like all of them, but what do you guys like? And so I am the kind of person to like, I do want input from my customers because
Yeah.
they're buying. They're the ones buying. I buy it, but they're the ones who basically, run this kind of
Sure,
thing. And
sure. Yeah.
but trend wise, I truly just think it's me just being on TikTok, being everywhere, seeing trends here and there. And that's kind of how I get my inspo.
Yeah.
So
Very cool.
Yeah.
How are you talking to your customers? Like, what do you do to communicate with them? Is it just through
TikTok.
comments?
So
Is it
TikTok, Instagram, and then we also have a Facebook page called Brixley Girlies.
Oh, nice.
And they are so loyal on that page, and it is so cool to see that they like, I don't know, they just show their bags and how they're wearing it or what pins they're using, and it's really cool the community they've built on there.
Yeah. That
is now like thousands and thousands of people.
That's like we had Mark, have you ever heard of a company called Fawn Design?
Yes.
So I was the former CMO there back in like 2020.
Oh, cool.
Back then, that was a really big thing, was to build these Facebook pages. And it was funny because a lot of people, they sometimes the people in the community get like very feisty.
They do. They do.
And they almost kind of start to feel like they're in charge and dictate things. And so what would happen is a lot of times people would want to like, let's just kill that. Let's not engage with it anymore. And I'm like, these are 50,000 people who love you. Yes, they're a little feisty, but there's such power in talking to your customers. And I love that you brought that up because we're huge believers in that. Like,
well, especially there, there's a big difference because there's customers that you don't want.
Yeah,
for sure.
Absolutely.
That no one wants to talk about.
Yeah.
Right. Because you have customers that just cost you money.
It's very true.
After marketing cost and after product cost, like there's customers that actually make you have to lose
there's
money.
people who will do chargebacks. I mean, that's cost you, and there's chargebacks. I'm like, you got your bag. I mean, I have proof of you got your bag, and here you are doing a chargeback on me. I don't know why, but I mean, that kind of sucks. But I mean,
but your loyal customers, they probably make up anywhere from 10 to 20% of like your total customer base, but they probably make up anywhere from 60 to 80% of your profit.
It's true.
It's probably very true.
It's true.
Yeah.
It's very true.
And everyone wants to forget about them.
Yeah.
Like, oh, they're just here.
Yeah.
Or like they're kind of opinionated.
Yeah.
But they're the ones that are buying all your stuff.
It's 100% true. And I'm like you guys are saying, but I'm a huge believer in that, and being, like what I do like about my business is that it's my face. Like sometimes it's hard, but there's a lot of brands where you don't know who the owner is. You don't know that. So it's not personable at all. And I feel like when it is personable, I feel like people are a lot nicer to you because they see who it is. They see who they're hurting or who they're trying to hurt. Where if you can't see, you don't know the owner of Kosas, the makeup brand, you don't know who that owner is. So I'm like, it's easier to attack that person because you don't know who they are. It's just person that you don't know. Yeah. But for me, I'm like, they know me. They know I'm the person behind it. They know I have a family. They know all these things. So I think they're a little bit kinder to me because of that. And I appreciate that because it really is just me and my husband and a small team. Yeah. And I do think there's huge benefits in having your face be there and you being the one talking to them. Like totally. I do all my DMs. I'm actually talking to these people, and it's not just a marketing person who does all that for me. Yeah. So I've seen really good things come out from me answering questions or, hey, what about this, and this? Oh, let me send you a picture of how I wear, just being personable I've seen a huge success in that. So cool. Yeah. Do you guys do any product seeding? Do you seed to other content creators? I haven't. Okay. I haven't, but I'm actually, I think I'm going to. Cool. Think at least PR boxes. Sure. Because now I'm a content creator. I mean, I'm now in that space. Right. I see how it is really beneficial for companies to do that. Totally. And I'm kind of mad at myself for not doing that. Now I'm just starting, but you got to start somewhere. But now that I'm in that space, I see it, and I see, for example, there's a brand of pajamas I wear, or my son's pajamas. It's called Cozy. They're an awesome brand, and I wear my Cozy Earth. No, not Cozy Earth. So just Cozy blankets. Are in Arizona, small business. Yeah. And I love their pajamas. I love their kid pajamas. So I'll wear their pajamas. My kid wears their pajamas, and I do a day in the life. Yeah. And it's not like I'm shouting out, "Hey, I'm wearing Cozies. Hey, buy Cozies." It's I wear them, I show them. People are commenting, "Hey, where's that? What's that from? Totally. What is that?" And then I comment, and then obviously I'm gonna, it's from Cozies. They go and purchase. Yeah. So it's really just, it's not even like having someone. It's just having my brand, just having it in the background, having it somewhere, wearing it. Even the fact that it could be in their household, I think that is huge. Totally. Massive. Well, it's awesome that you've been able to do what you've been able to do without that. Totally. Right. And that's just another channel and stepping stone. And, totally. And what's awesome about product seeding is like when you get what you're saying, there's some distribution you get to share from other people, but then you can also start taking that content and run it as
ads
It's true.
as well, which will be really cool.
It's true. So I feel like now that I'm also in the space, I have more connections than I did before
Sure.
of content creators
Yeah.
that I'm able to now gift.
Yeah.
And not that I would just gift to them. Obviously, I want to gift to people who do use my brand and love my brand. And I do see a lot of big creators who will just, big brands who only will give to the bigger people.
Sure.
And then there's all the little people who are like, well, what about me? I'm the one who actually purchases your product. These people don't purchase your product.
For sure.
And so I think I want to have a really good balance between the two, because it is important to have the big creators have your brand, because they're influencers. That's what they do for a living. They influence people. But then at the same time, there's still the smaller creators or smaller people.
There's different kinds of influence.
There is. Totally.
Right?
Absolutely.
And we talk about this all the time on the podcast. There's intent-based influencers.
Yeah.
Where people follow them for only like one reason.
Yeah.
And it's for like fitness, or it's for makeup, or it's for a day in the life of, right? Like there's reasons why they're following. So you don't have to have a big audience. I mean, when I say big audience, like you don't have to have 1 million followers to see a lot of success from giving someone a bag that only has 30,000 followers.
Not at all. Absolutely. And that's what I'm saying. Exactly what I'm saying is I don't think I would ever pay for like a brand deal. Like there's a lot of people who will, a lot of companies who are a lot bigger than me, and their budgets are a lot bigger than mine. But I don't think I would ever want to pay for, someone to show my product. I think it just should sell itself.
Here's a check, you pay. Yeah, totally.
I think I just want it to sell itself.
Well, the other thing about creators right now, there's been this like shift in content creators and followers where a lot of people aren't following people anymore.
Yeah.
It happens for sure, but you can get millions of views on videos and only have a few thousand followers. Like,
it's true.
Did you see that video where I imagine you've seen this just because you're on TikTok, but there was this girl who started ragging on New York influencers. Have you seen this video?
I feel like I've heard of it.
She
like,
pretty much
I didn't see that one, but I've heard like the
Why New York influencers?
Well, she pretty much just got on her phone, like it wasn't doing anything special, and she was just like, New York influencers are so boring. Like they're all the exact same person. Like they all look like this, they all act like this, they all wear Revolve. The girl had like 800 followers, and that video got like 10 million views.
Yes.
And it only got her like an extra few, maybe a couple thousand of followers, but like that's the beauty of content nowadays is like you can actually be gifting and seeding product to creators who have no following.
Absolutely.
And if they're good at creating content, they can get millions and millions of eyeballs on your product.
It's so true.
So that's a huge fallacy right now. A lot of people are like, I only want to go after big people. Hey, how do I get the hands in somebody who has, like you have 1 million followers. How do I get my makeup in front of you or my I don't know. I'm
pajamas.
Pajamas. I was trying to think of something like a product with tortoises, and I couldn't think of anything.
Tortoise leash.
I did have one a Temu sent me a tortoise leash.
Nice.
I walked little baby Steven around.
Temu
did.
Temu paid me.
That's huge.
To have tortoise walk around.
That's hilarious.
So I don't know if it got them any money,
but yeah, you don't need big creators to make a mark in that world. Is there any brands right now that you're like you look to for inspiration?
Oh my goodness.
Or creators maybe?
Not any brands. I wouldn't say any brands because like I said, I feel like I'm just very specific in my brand.
Mm-hmm.
So brand wise, no. But creators, I love Emily Kaiser. Love her. I actually know her. I know her personally, but I just love what she's done. I think she's brilliant in what she does and how she shows it. And
what does she do?
So she's like lifestyle. So she's content creation, but just lifestyle. So really, truly just shows her life and that's it. But somehow she's just able to really connect with people. And I don't even know how she does it. That's the magic of it is she's just, I don't know, she's magic. She's somehow magic. But she just shows her life and people are so intrigued. And it's not like she has some crazy house and some crazy thing. It's nothing crazy. Yeah. It's a good lifestyle and she just shows it so well. And so you'll have to look her up. She's awesome. She just had a baby. Yeah. And so it's really cool because, for example, she just had a baby. And so I think people have now seen her as because she had a toddler. So she's had a toddler for a while. So people have kind of seen her as a toddler, but I think people are really intrigued now. She's a newborn. So that will resonate to a lot of new moms. And so how does she navigate newborn life? And so now people are intrigued in that. And so I think she just has a really intriguing life.
Emily Kaiser, you said?
Emily Kaiser.
Very cool.
Yeah. I think Avery Woods is also a great creator. I mean, I think she's smart in what she does.
And what does she do?
She's also lifestyle. She got herself in trouble a couple times, but I think she's smart in what she does. So
Can you talk about
Trouble
why
how?
she's in
Yeah.
trouble?
she got like canceled on a podcast on her
Oh.
pod. So she does a podcast, and it's,
Oh, I think I might know who you're
Yeah.
talking about. Keep
and
going.
she did the Harry Jowsey podcast.
Yeah.
And she said some stuff, and she got canceled. Like,
Was that recent?
that was recent. I mean,
Yeah,
within the
you're
last
not, you're
couple
not seeing
months.
cancelizations happening as often. So
It was like every single my TikTok, Avery Woods, cancel Avery Woods, like
Yeah.
all the things. And I felt for her. Like, people might come for me and be like, well, cancel Avery Woods. Like, yeah, what she said wasn't the greatest. Okay, I'll give her that. But at the same time, it's like, I don't know. She just, I think what
Good
she
at what she
does
does,
is,
yeah.
I think she's good at what she does. But yeah,
that's
so,
awesome.
Yeah.
Well, now I'm going to go look up Avery
Yeah.
Woods.
New follower.
Avery Woods, what did you do?
Yeah,
wrong?
exactly. Yeah.
What did you say?
What did you say?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We all make mistakes. It's fine.
That's what I'm saying. We
Very
all make
true.
mistakes. Everyone has those days.
Especially when your life is
I don't know what you did, but
online. You
Yes.
know, like
Yes.
because sometimes you can say or do things that like people just get feisty on TikTok.
Very feisty, especially the bigger creators, because like I said, it's not personal anymore. I mean, it's when you have that many, I mean, they have like 3 million followers. When you get that big, people don't care anymore like that, most people. And so they just say the meanest things ever. Like Reddit, bad place to be.
Reddit is crazy.
I just went on Reddit.
Did you look up your name?
Yes, I did. And I deleted it with tears in my eyes.
Oh yeah.
Horrible.
Yeah.
Mean. So
Reddit's a dangerous.
never doing
place.
that again. Never doing
You
that
know,
again.
I just
speaking of like negative ramifications of social media,
Mhm.
you're Gen Z, so I think you're a little different. Did you ever see The Truman Show?
No.
we just showed my kids that.
Well, The Truman Show is
Tell me
like
what it is.
basically a guy is getting filmed for his whole life, and
Okay.
He lives in a simulation.
he lives in a simulation because
Oh.
he's always getting filmed, and it's like there's
and
ads.
it's like a TV show, like that everyone in the world
No.
watches this
Yeah.
one guy, and they've been
Does he
watching
know
him since
about
birth.
it?
No,
No, but then he figures it out,
Okay.
and he escapes
Oh,
the
no.
Matrix in a way.
That kind of sounds interesting.
Jim Carrey. Do you know who Jim Carrey?
Yeah,
Spoiler
yeah,
alert.
yeah.
Jim Carrey is
Spoiler
the,
alert, I guess.
The
because
guy?
people
Is
haven't
Truman.
seen
Surprised I
Truman
haven't
Show.
seen
It's
that.
a good. Have you seen it? Yeah.
You
it's-
have? He's seen every
Ethan's
single
just
show.
been hiding things. from
Yeah,
you,
literally.
you know?
I'm like, excuse me.
So
it's actually a really good show.
Is it kind of like that one where that guy's in the courtroom and he has no idea he's like the
jury
duty? Yes, kind of
It
like
is
that.
a mini, but that's just a courtroom where
Yeah.
like
Where- but it's
Truman's
his life.
entire life
his
is
entire life.
from his best friends to his wife to his
Okay, now that's
Yeah.
kind of sad.
the
Okay.
wife one. When I heard that, I'm like, that's kind of crazy. I forgot about that. He has like a wife.
Yeah, and
That's so
Ed Harris is the
sad.
director, the producer.
Yeah.
But I bring that up because I think a lot of people struggle with this idea of like encroaching personal life and just
Mhm.
like sharing it.
Yeah.
So how do you balance that? Do you view it as a negative thing? Like, is
Mhm.
there a moral dilemma for you ever of saying like, hey, this is like, where's the boundary between
Totally.
public and personal?
Yeah. So I just went to therapy. I have a therapist. She's awesome. I just went to therapy and was asked her that same exact question because like I was telling you guys, Brixley for a while, you know, was my life. Well, is still my life, but I'm able to leave that at home. And I learned to like, because I had a lot of mom guilt of having Brixley and having Kempton. Was like, well, I want to be at home, but I'm a CEO. I have to work.
Sure,
So it's a
yeah.
lot of mom guilt that way where she, you know, she taught me like, okay, when you're at work, be at work 100%. When you're at home, be 100% at home. So I was able to do that. Great. Okay. So now I have content creation where I can't just shut the door and leave that. When I'm home as a mom, but then also I'm a content creator.
Right.
So to answer your question, the kind of answer that we kind of came up with was I have 3 times a day where I can do content creation kind of thing where it's morning, mid-afternoon, at night. I spend an hour of either filming, doing what I need, doing my day in the life, editing, emails, whatever I need to do. And then after that hour or 45 minutes or whatever I say, I'm 100% mom. It doesn't matter if I'm getting calls, doesn't matter if I'm getting text messages, DMs, nothing. I'm mom. Then in the mid-afternoon, I have 45 minutes. I shut the door. I'm editing. I'm filming, doing whatever I need to show my life. Same exact thing. After that, shut the door. Done. I'm mom. But before that, it consumed my life. And so that's why I asked my therapist, what do I do? Because there was no boundaries, none at all. No boundaries. It was, if I get a DM, I'm doing it while my child is walking, and while I'm playing.
Yeah.
And so it really just consumed my life. I'm like, I can't live this way. Like, no wonder people hate content creation because it consumes your life. It consumes what you're doing. Then you start hating it because you're not being the wife or the mom or anything you want because it's so consumed. And so we came up with the plan of you know, we're going to divide it, and you're going to be a mom when you're a mom, but then you know, you have these hours where you can film and you can go out and do all these content creation things. So I don't know if that answers your question
smart.
at all.
No, it does. Yeah. I think that's a great answer, because I just think a lot of people
It's
struggle
like
with
compartmentalizing your day.
this
Exactly.
idea of like, how much do I let just like the big wide world into my life?
And it has been hard because
people think it's just a window going out.
Yeah.
And then it becomes the window where all the eyes are coming in.
It's
and then
true. There are things, you know, where I won't show certain places in my house. You know, there's times where, you know, I don't want to show, you know, I do show my son, but I don't want him to be the sole focus. So I know there's people who don't show their kid at all, which I completely understand. But I think I'm at the point where I don't want to show his entire life. He's in the clips, he's in snippets, but he's not the full reason. And then, you know, certain parts of my house and certain things in my life I don't show. And so, cause I'm like, I have to have some kind of privacy at least.
Totally.
And so, but I think it gets really diluted because you're showing your life. It's easy. It's easier to just show everything than it is try to cut stuff out.
Yeah.
And so, but you have to have some type of stop. And so I'm still learning.
It's crazy. Even if you like are like, I am really, once again, we've talked about this. My follower count is significantly lower. I'm in the 50,000, 60,000 range here. But like I have made
mine is much lower than that.
I have made it a huge point to like never show like the front of my house, you know, and certain things like that, because I don't want certain things to happen.
Totally.
But I have been like on my street and just shown like my mountain view. And I've had somebody send me my address.
I'm telling you.
Like I've had somebody be like, "Oh, you're on blank drive in blank city."
Yes.
And I'm like,
"Did they live near you?"
And one of the guys was like, "Oh, I grew up over there." And I'm just like, people just like want to do that kind of stuff. It's freaky, man.
No, it's freaky. People will like drive by my house.
It's scary.
And so I'm like, so, and no, it's creepy because even like a mountain, like you don't even show your house.
Yeah.
You don't show anything but a mountain, a street. It's
really easy to locate.
Especially
Utah.
Especially Utah. Because there are times where, you know, a content creator will show the mountain there, you know, and I'm not creep enough to DM and be like, I know exactly where they live.
But I'm like, oh, I know within like
I know where they live.
Yeah.
I know where that is, but I'm not like going to go to their house, but I do, you know, it's easy.
Yeah.
And so, but but yeah, it's exactly that. It's like how much
I spent a lot of time in the mountains, and one of my buddies posted an engagement photo that they took in the mountains.
Yeah.
And it was like, it's way obscure too. It's called Trapper's Loop, which is not way obscure, but you know, if you're down from south area of Utah, you probably don't know it, but it's up by like Ogden. It's this big loop that goes up by like Pine View Reservoir. And I'm like, I dropped a pin. It was my friend, but I dropped a pin. I'm like, this is where you were, huh?
See?
And he's like,
that's crazy.
He's like, yep, that's exactly where you were.
Yeah,
exactly. It's crazy.
Nutty.
So you just know in Utah, like if you're,
you do just
it's so
know.
easy to remember those landscapes.
And even when I was in Arizona at my parents' house, there were still people who were like, oh, I know exactly where that's at. I'm like, I'm not even showing their house. I'm not showing anything, but people are creepy.
Yeah.
And so I'm still learning on what I do want to show, what I don't want to show. And so it's a learning curve.
What a weird time of life right now.
Yes.
Like we were just talking about this, like in one day, and this is kind of a stepping away from kind of what we're saying, but I'm just the premise of just how weird things are. Like when we were in Austin, we went to dinner and watched somebody get out of a self-driving car. No driver in the seat. And then
two Waymos?
Oh yeah, like
Waymos, yeah.
Yeah.
And then that same day ChatGPT came out with this, we can create any image for you that you want. And then that same night,
and everyone's freaking out
at the grocery store,
ham with Studio Ghibli content.
Yeah, at the grocery store, I walked through the grocery store, and there was a robot that kind of looked like that air filter
that drove around.
That was
the inventory checker.
The inventory checker.
No way.
That was checking inventory. It was like, "Hi, my name is so and so.
How do I get him to my warehouse?"
I'm checking inventory, and I'm like, I had like a panic attack
probably be able to buy one,
moment.
like,
you know,
that is crazy.
Yeah, it was. Kind of freaky.
The world it's crazy.
Yeah.
It's kind of creepy.
So I guess the biggest differentiator is to try to be unique, right?
It's true.
Find an angle and a niche and like be as real as possible.
You have to, because I feel like all these content creators are just trying to do what everyone else is doing, which I mean, sometimes it works, but you got to find your niche or you're just going to get lost and you're going to get bored and you're going to hate it.
Well, also there's going to be plenty of AI fashion now.
Copycat. Yeah.
Like models and videos that you won't even know.
It's true.
Aren't real people.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
I
like
wouldn't.
that I
I've
just
seen
showed
so
you,
much
yeah.
AI stuff like of people. I wouldn't, unless you told me that was a fake person. There's no way I would know.
Yeah.
It looks so real.
And we won't go down the scary world of deep fakes right now, but
Yeah.
deep fake is a very scary, weird situation in the future.
Everything is
Like
scary.
people will make videos of you that aren't you
Yeah.
Yes.
doing
Yeah.
things that you shouldn't be doing.
Totally.
It's creepy,
Yeah, it's way creepy.
especially
But
when it gets in the hands of bad people.
to finish on
Yeah.
a positive note,
Yeah.
what are some good experiences you've had or testimonials or something of like because you showed something in your life, someone said, "Hey, that really helped me in some kind of way."
Brixley or personal or all of it?
Yeah, personal.
I think just I get a lot of recognition for being real. So I feel like there's a lot of times where people on social media, you can tell when someone's being fake. Like it is so easy to tell when someone's not being their true self. And so I do get a lot of recognition that are like, okay, I appreciate you showing the real. You know, you're not waking up with your hair and makeup all done. Because I'm like, that's not me. You know, if I was to wake up and just jump on the camera with hair and face of makeup and hair every single day, I'm like, you know that's fake. That's
Sure.
not real. And so I get a lot of people who are thankful for that. I do get a lot of people who are thankful for me showing my business because there's not a lot of people who will show the day in the life of a business owner. And there's a lot of people who want to start businesses and just need a little bit of push.
Sure.
And seeing a woman entrepreneur do something about it and show it, and it's just a little bit of motivation for them to be like,
Yeah.
well, if she can do it,
Right.
which is 100% true. If I can do it, literally when anyone can do it. Like I didn't even go to college. I'm the last person to really do all this, and here I am. And so I think you just need to want it bad enough. If you want it bad
Cool.
enough, at least me, I'm very motivated. I'm money motivated first of all, and then I'm another motivator is just if I want it bad enough, I'm gonna have it no matter what.
Yeah.
And so I think it's worked. And so, but I think that would be my answer is just people are grateful for me being real, and then just showing life and my trueness and my business aspect of it.
Isn't it crazy how real is different?
Yeah.
Like being real is like the differentiator.
Yes.
Isn't that like a little sad?
That's very sad. It's very sad.
It's like awesome for someone like you because you are okay with it and you can capitalize on it.
Yes.
But it's wild that is the thing that's making you blow up the way you have is like,
It's true.
I just like woke up and filmed myself.
Yes. There's a lot of
like,
people who
let me hurry and do my
there's
hair.
a lot of people
and,
who will meet me and be like, oh, you're not different than, like, you're identical to what you are
Yeah.
online. I'm like, that's sad that you are meeting people who are different than you are, that they are online.
but also like an awesome compliment, right?
Totally.
like such a good compliment,
I'll take that
Yeah.
compliment all day. Cause I'm like, I never want to get on that screen and be fake. And
Well,
so
yeah, and it does make sense though because people traditionally that it was movie stars, people in television, they're acting.
true. Yes.
So like you meet someone in
Yeah.
person that you see on the screen, there's
That's
always
true.
like
But I feel like that's different though,
Yeah.
you know, than the influencer
creator.
showing your life. Like that should
Yeah.
be real.
Or should be, right?
It
Well,
should be real.
it's different, but think about it. Like you go from TVs, movies
Yeah.
to reality TV, which isn't real.
That's true. Yeah.
It's like Kim Kardashian is not
Yeah.
the same
Totally.
person,
Totally.
Yeah.
probably. You know, I'm sure she's slightly different. I'm sure she's nice.
I bet she's nice.
Maybe.
Nothing against Kim
Probably.
Kardashian,
No,
but
no.
very obvious like there's acting
I mean,
going on.
One of our
Boss.
clients met her and the whole family and said that they were great.
She is,
I'm
I mean,
sure they're
look what
nice.
she's done. I mean, she's a boss. Like she is, but I mean, for example, Ruby Frankie. Did you ever hear that? I mean, the
Oh yeah, the girl,
the
St.
YouTuber?
George girl who
I don't know who she is.
you
Yeah,
do, the girl
so-
who abused her kids and her in
Oh,
Ivans.
So YouTube, I mean, she's showing her life, showing her kids' life. She's a perfect mom, amazing mom. And then it comes to find out she's not.
She's
and
like
so
the
it's
worst
just,
human on
she's
earth.
like
Yeah.
starving her kid or something.
Yeah.
actually.
Ugh.
Well,
Yeah.
thank you so much. This has been
Yes.
awesome.
Yes, thank you for having me.
Such a cool conversation. I love like everywhere that it went. I appreciate it. Where can people find you personally, and where can people find Brixley?
Yes, so my TikTok is Kimberly O'Connell. That's like my personal life. And then Brixley is just Brixley Bags.
Amazing.
So yeah.
Well, go follow her. This is great. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having me.
Appreciate it.
Appreciate it.
And
Thank
we wish
you.
Ethan would have been here with us a little more. You know, next time.
Next
you know.
time.
Next time it's just Ethan.
Yeah, next time just Ethan. He's way
Yeah,
more
we'll get-
way more
we'll-
exciting than I am.
Well, thank you so much, everybody. We appreciate it, and we will see you next week. Thank you so much for listening to the Unstoppable Marketer podcast. please go rate and subscribe the podcast. Whether it's good or bad, we want to hear from you because we always want to make this podcast better. If you want to get in touch with me or give me any direct feedback, please go follow me and get in touch with me. I am at the Trevor Crump on both Instagram and TikTok. Thank you, and we will see you next week.